2022 has ended. Well, it's about to anyway. We're in our final moments of what has been a pretty decent year for movies and for entertainment across the board. I hope all of you have had a fantastic year as well. But it's time to look forward to 2023, as in today's video, we will be talking about the biggest hits currently expected to release in 2023. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk all things major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much more. I'm your host Chris, and I would love to take this opportunity at the end of the year to thank all of you. Many of you are returning members of the channel, subscribers for many years, and some of you are newer and just kind of getting into the community. But regardless of your status, I want to thank each and every one of you for making this possible. The channel, we hit 60,000 subscribers this year, and we're growing with a lot of big goals coming in 2023 to continue on. We went to several red carpet events as a channel. We were able to see some world premieres, meet some actors who play the roles of our favorite characters. So really has been a staple moment for me as a YouTuber and for the channel as we continue to grow. With that being said, if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our other crazy adventures and updates, theories, breakdowns, and much more. You can also follow me on my other socials, Instagram at Chris M. Rosser and Twitter at TheCultureChris. Links to both of those are in the description down below. 2023 is going to be a massive year for big movie releases for multiple different franchises and genres. We've got a lot of horror movies coming out, superhero, Marvel, DC, as well as action, adventure, and other well-known franchises. So without any further ado, let's hop right into it. The first movie, January 6th, is Megan. Now, if you haven't heard anything about Megan, well, fans of Chucky and of Annabelle will be very excited or terrified to see Megan, coming out January 6th. Then February 17th, a big one, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which will be officially introducing Kang the Conqueror into the MCU and really opening the door for Phase 5, as this is the first project of Phase 5, but we're also starting off with a heavy hitter, as there will be a ton of major connecting and plot-pushing storylines here for the future of the MCU. Shortly after, on February 24th, releases Cocaine Bear, and here's an image of it. If you haven't heard of it, it's kind of a satiristic comedy horror of a bear that gets hyped up on cocaine and starts causing some problems. March 3rd, we have a intense one with the release of Creed 3. March 10th, we have another horror film, and we're going to be getting Scream 6, which is going to be taking place in New York, and they've been heavily pushing the marketing for this already for quite some time, so I'm very curious to see what the ultimate result is for Scream 6. Coming out March 17th is Shazam 2. The second Shazam will be releasing. It's the first DC project of 2023, and yes, we know all of the crazy DC news and how the DCEU, where Shazam is located, is kind of pittering out and coming to an end. In fact, all of the projects that we're about to announce for DC will be leaning towards the end of an era for DC as we prepare for the DCU coming from DC Studios, James Gunn, and Peter Safran. I know a lot of you guys are very excited for our next one, March 24th, John Wick. The next one to come out, the Chapter 4, will be releasing on that March 24th. Very interested to see what this does to continue the franchise. You may or may not be aware that they have been working on a series in the background that will build more out of the John Wick franchise. March 31st, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. March 31st. Now, this movie hasn't had the greatest welcoming, as some of the marketing has looked a little off, and I will agree something about this movie does seem to not quite be there, but it is an iconic game, and it is something that people have been waiting for a movie about or some type of rendition about, so I'm curious to see how Dungeons and Dragons does on March 31st. On April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's joke, Evil Dead Rise will release, so another horror film will be coming out. April 7th, one I'm personally pretty excited for, although I know the opinions are a little scattered, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This is the beginning of a massive cinematic franchise where there are a lot of options moving forward, not only with Mario characters but with Nintendo characters across the board, to create what really should be a massive cinematic universe, and even possibly go on to have a pretty epic finale with the possibility of Super Smash Bros. In some type of rendition being brought to the big screen. I'm super hopeful for this one. I love Mario, a huge staple of me growing up, and I hope this does very, very well. May 5th. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now this might be the one I'm most excited for in 2023, just from the small teaser trailers we've seen already. I know this one is going to be pulling at some heartstrings. It is the end of James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy as we know it, and although there will be some types of Guardians of the Galaxy moving forward, I wouldn't expect the team to ever be the same after what we're about to learn in Volume 3. Coming out May 19th, we have Fast 10. Now we're pushing forward into the franchise and actually even pushing towards the end. Although Fast and Furious 10 is not the last one, it is one of the last ones. And we have added to the cast Jason Momoa, Brie Larson, Alan Richardson, and we're going to continue moving forward with what will be, hopefully, a relatively successful and fun Fast 10 movie. May 26th, for you Disney fans, The Little Mermaid live action movie will be coming out. We've gotten some very brief teaser footage for this, which features some very dynamic underwater shots and Ariel singing. So hopefully this will be one everybody can enjoy. Up to this point, the live action remakes of Disney classic movies have done very, very well. Coming up June 2nd, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. We've seen several teasers and even trailer for this movie. Now there are a lot of surprises in this one, and I'm very curious to see how this ties into, well, the first one, and then also Sony's bigger Spider-Verse, which they're working very, very hard on to perfect and to make interesting and exciting. Many of you, including myself, doubt Sony's ability to perfect the Spider-Verse, to bring everybody together and create something awesome, but the opportunity and potential is there, so I really hope they're able to get everything together. June 9th, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. We got our first teaser trailer for this. It has a very, very familiar feel with it to the Michael Bay Transformers that we saw. This is a hard reboot of sorts. We will be restarting a lot of the story and lore from what we know, and then we'll have to get further details about what exactly will carry over later on. June 16th, we have another DC installment, and that is the Flash movie, originally meant to open up the multiverse. Well, maybe now might just be closing off the DCEU for the time being. Moving on to June 23rd, we have Elemental. June 30th, Indiana Jones 5, which will be Harrison Ford's last time reprising the role of Indiana Jones, and from the teaser footage that we've already gotten, it looks to be a very, very well put together Indiana Jones movie. Now, of course, people will say, well, the fourth one wasn't that great, but I have every reason to believe that they will do the franchise with dignity and finish off Harrison Ford's story here. Whether they continue on with the Indiana Jones storyline with a different actor or some type of different spin-off is yet to be known. However, for the moment, this is one of my favorite franchises, and I'm gonna just enjoy the swan song of Indiana Jones. July 14th, we will have the next Mission Impossible film, and on July 21st, we get the Barbie movie, which has released its first trailer. July 21st, Oppenheimer, which has promises to be a very intense and awesome movie as well. July 28th, we have our next MCU installment, The Marvels, which, just like both Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and the Wasp, has very important details moving forward for the MCU in Phase 5. Phase 5 seems to be a heavy hitter as we push forward in the multiverse saga, and the Marvels will be doing the same thing. August 4th, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. On August 18th, another DC installment, Blue Beetle. It's unclear how exactly that's going to fit into the DCU or the DCEU, but assumptions are that it will be part of the DCEU, and we probably won't be seeing much build off of Blue Beetle, but that's very unclear at the moment. October 6th, another Spider-Man installment, Kraven the Hunter, and that does come from Sony, so outside of the MCU. November 3rd, we have Dune Part 2, one I'm very excited for. I know that the opinions and the overall enjoyment of the first Dune was very split. People either really enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it at all. I, for one, am very excited for Dune Part 2. December 15th, we have a Wonka movie. December 20th, we have a Ghostbusters movie. December 25th, Christmas Day next year, we have the Aquaman 2 installment. So those are the current big blockbusters that will be releasing in 2023. 2024 is a whole different story, and yes, there are a lot of really exciting movies coming out then as well, but as you can tell, for now we have many things to look forward as we head into the new year. For those of you who made it to the very end of the video, I need you to go down to the comment section and let me know two things. What was your favorite movie of 2022? And which of these movies are you most excited for as we head into 2023? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next year, right here on Cosmic Culture.